going on YouTube? Come with me today as I return these bottles. We're gonna see how much I get. I'm gonna assume maybe like $10. Got a big hefty bag. We gonna see. All right, y'all, I just made it here. This is the first time I've ever seen a bottle return outside. This will be interesting, but here I go. I just finished with the bottle return. $14 even. That's crazy. $14 means there was 140 bottles that I just returned real quick, but it was some light work. Okay, so I just finished with the bottle return. I got $14 back. It didn't take no longer than 5 minutes. Actually, I got it done really fast. I had to clean out my back seat because I just had this big thing of plastic bottles in the back of the car, so we didn't want it to smell like old pops and all types of stuff. But today, y'all, I'm off work again, so I think I'm gonna focus on yesterday I did some financial literacy with taxes. I'm gonna round to that today and kind of take a little step further. I have my cybersecurity class, and then I have another inbound sales course that I'm taking as well. So I'm gonna see how that goes. I'll probably do like an hour of each. Focus study. That's been so hard for me lately, to do like an actual focus study where I'm not touching my phone, I'm not scribbling and like distracted with other stuff. Lock in, focus. I did do 15 minutes of reading yesterday, and then another 15 minutes, 15 readings of the Bible, 15 readings of the 4 agreements, and then I did some drawing. I drew like a little cool guy, you know what I'm saying? Keeping up with my creativity. I applied to another apartment yesterday, just to make sure that, you know, I'm staying active, giving myself options and stuff like that. But yeah, other than that, chilling. I want to take a second to talk about my bond and my friendships that I've been keeping very close to me recently. Of course, y'all know my best friend, Bruce. That's my dog. We've been friends for a few years, and I am 100% grateful for that friendship, because that's genuinely somebody who I talk to. We talk about anything. We laugh all the time. We get serious. Sometimes we could be on the phone and not say nothing, or we could be saying a bunch of different stuff back to back. And our minds are like always right on the money, right on the same page, just about where it's like, I don't know. It's a really, really good feeling though, of knowing that you genuinely have somebody that you can connect with that is on the same moral grounds as you, and y'all are on the upwards ladder consistently. You know, he just made a big change, moving, and he has a new job opportunity that required him to really lock in and focus. And I know I've been trying to keep up with him as much as possible. Like, how are you feeling about all of this? Like, what is it like? What are you doing? Like, I'm trying to get as much insight as possible, because I'm trying to put myself in his shoes to think like, okay, like, what is my day-to-day like? How is this going to change the business? How is this going to change like my self-care? What do I have to do to still be the best version of myself, and then be able to give the best version of myself to the job as well, you know? So I've been trying to get as much insight as I can, but I'm super excited for him. I think that everything that we had been talking about for the past few months is finally coming into fruition for the both of us, but in very different ways. Like, you wouldn't even have expected things to play out the way they did. We trained for months to go to the military. I got medically disqualified, and he decided to not continue to take action towards it as well around the same time. We didn't necessarily tell each other that that's what we were doing, but it was like one day I was just like, yeah, this is what happened. He was like, yeah, that's what happened. But like, you know what I'm saying? Because we go off and do our own things, but then when we come back to it, it'd be like, you know, and it just happened to be that neither one of us ended up doing it. Second, we were going to move to Florida, stack up a few thousand and move to Florida, right? That was our plan. We were doing good. The war started. My health was starting to act up a little bit. I was thinking like, maybe this isn't the best idea to leave so soon. And, you know, he was on board. I talked to him about it. I was kind of nervous at first though, because I'm like, I know we have made this plan. We've been consistent, and now I'm changing up on the last minute. But he agreed. He was like, you know what? You're right. Let's kind of take it slow. Let's, you know, map things out a little bit. So we were good with that. Then we were going to move to Arizona with my mom and set up shop out there, kind of be on our grind, doing things to make money, all this stuff, right? So boom, we set out for all of that, but then I'm like still thinking like, well, my health feeling like this, I don't want to just go and be in a strange environment where I can't take care of myself in the best way. Like, I don't have insurance out there. My insurance is here. So I was thinking about all of those things, and I was like, you know what, maybe it's not the best idea to go out just yet. And he agreed with that as well. But the alternative is, now that he got stuff going on, as far as like his family moving and things like that, so like his life is taking a different direction where he got to lock in and like make a solid plan and commit to that. And then my life is like, okay, I got to take care of myself, and I'm trying to get myself out of the environment that I'm in as fast as possible, and then commit to that as well, you know. And so all of this stuff is going on. It feels like we keep making these plans to do things, but nothing's really following, like nothing's panning out how we thought it was going to, but we putting in on the groundwork. I'm talking reading, studying, like writing. Like when I say studying, I mean that we study just anything that we feel like can benefit us. For me, I study the body, I study the mind, I study cybersecurity, financial literacy, heavy on that, taxes, random stuff. Like if I can expand my knowledge in any way, I will do it. Lock in, do like a 1-hour study session of just whatever I feel is necessary. Watch some YouTube videos, do a little research online, chat GPT, whatever. And he does stuff similar as well. Stuff that's also beneficial to business, like training, making flyers, making a business, making business cards, a website, stuff like that. Been working really hard, doing all that work, figuring out, okay, well, how can I get to Florida with what I'm doing right now? How can I expand my business in Michigan so that by the time I move, I will be successful in another environment? Hold on, I gotta sneeze. We're good. But yeah, how can I, you know, grow here so I can take my seed that I planted, my little plant, and plant it in another area and watch it sprout. So yeah, we have been putting in the work. We've been reading, we've been praying, we've been, you know, just everything and talking about it, making plans, making budgets, saving money, going to work, following through with our commitments, not drinking, not smoking, not allowing any distractions, no girls. Like I recently broke up with one of my partners because I knew that for me, being in a relationship doesn't align with my goals right now. I have to be able to focus on myself to get what I need done. And she respected that, you know what I'm saying? And there's a few other factors as well, but overall, she respected my decision in wanting to, you know what I'm saying, have that space. And with having this space, I've had a lot of mental clarity of being able to figure out what exactly is that I'm doing and why I'm doing it. I've been able to commit to my YouTube videos even. That's been something I wanted to start for a long time, and I just be so crowded in mind with all this information and all this stuff and all these energies that I can't sit and let it happen. So now it's happening and it feels great. But yeah, so we're going along these lines, y'all. I'm telling you, it's just been back to back, putting in work. This is happening, we're reacting to it, then trying to move past it. And for me, I'm not the type of person that can sit for a long time. I don't like not having a plan. I don't like not having myself together in some way. So when things aren't going right, I'm very quick to make a backup option if I didn't already have one. And hold on. Yeah, but yeah, so I'm like back with another plan, right? But like I said, I had to sit down recently and really just like, hold on, you're making all these plans, nothing's following through. It just was like you're opening all these tabs and not closing any of them, but you didn't start anything. You just opened a page, you know what I'm saying? So sat down, following through on these commitments. Yes, I'm reading every day. Yes, I'm taking care of my hair. I've been doing my hair care treatment. Yes, I've been eating how I'm supposed to eat. I've been writing, even if it's just a few sentences. I've been doing my studies, still making sure I'm putting in the work that I feel like is farther developing me, but also taking time to sit down and relax and process my day-to-day, process my emotions, process everything, right? Not taking other people's lives so personally to the point where I can't focus on my own, because I'm like a serious empath. Sometimes I do like hyper fixate on other people's lives because I'm trying to like put myself in their position to see how I would heal from whatever I'm going through, or how I would grow from whatever I'm going through, right? And that's how I help people. But it's been so like liberating to sit down, look outside and say, hey, it's springtime. The grass is getting greener. Flowers are blooming. I can hear the birds chirping. That's wonderful. Have a few bees floating around and stuff. Like, I love to see stuff like that. And I can actually sit down and enjoy it now rather than being so all the time, like everywhere. So yeah, the next stage is really just, for me, I applied to 2 apartments. I'm waiting to hear back from the first one. There's going to be an inspection coming up. And as soon as the inspection is taken care of, I'll be able to know when my move-in date is. And then the other apartment, I have to fill out the paperwork to get an inspection for that one. Therefore, I can set a moving date for that one too. Not to say I'm getting 2 apartments, because I'm not, but I'm going to be able to pick between the 2 and see and figure out what works best for me. So I'm thinking about location from the job, thinking about the actual apartment itself, the amenities, the people that I'm around. Just how do I think that each environment will benefit me more. Now, the first place I really like because it's a tall building, so I can have like a nice view, be better for content, right? I saw the place, space is good, the bedroom space is really nice. There's a bathroom in my bedroom, so I don't necessarily have to like leave out of my bedroom to go to the bathroom. That's convenient. The kitchen is small though, and it is, let me see, not really a lot of cons there. I mean, it's a little dated on the stuff in the place, but it's not bad. It's a nice space. It's just me. And then it's close to the DeQuinder Cut, which is really good for jogging, walking, and it's close to the Eastern Market, which is great for fresh produce and my shopping needs. And I am a particular shopping girl. I care about my brands. I care about where my food is coming from, what it looks like, how fresh it is. So those are big pluses for me, right? One part is I'm downtown, so everything's kind of close-knit. Second place is on, I think, the other side really of downtown than the first place. So this place has its own, like, they both have their own parking, but this place is paid parking. I have to pay for the parking. The other place I don't have to pay for parking, mental note. But the first place is $9.99, and then I would have to pay my own Wi-Fi bill, so more like $1,040 or so, right? This place is $8.99, but utilities are like a fixed rate. So with everything coming out, it'd be about $1,079 or $1,069, I believe. No, $79, because it was $10 for the trash fee. $1,079. It's renovated, very clean space. It's new. It's not as tall as the other building, but that's neither here nor there. I don't really have a huge preference on that. It's just like a visual thing. I know that it's gated parking. And Cass Avenue is close to Wayne State University, so it's going to be close to school life. It's going to be close to a lot of foods, more of that city feel, right? So I was thinking between the two, and I'm like, thus far, me personally, I care about what's in my home. I care about the renovated look. I like a nice clean look. I like the professionalism that it gives, and then knowing that I can do the most I can with my space. Now, the first place has a bigger bedroom than the second place. I think the first place is overall a little bit bigger than the second place, but the second place has a little bit of a bigger kitchen than the first place does. And like I said, it's renovated stuff. Everything in there is renovated. But cons, second place does not have an AC or cooling unit, so I'd have to get my own AC. And like I said, pay for parking. But the total of the places are really just about the same. $140, $169, $179, $1,040, $1,079. Why do I keep saying 100? I wish any apartment was $100. Everybody would have a place to stay. But anyways, but yeah, so those are the two places. Like I said, pros and cons. It's really just about who comes back first with great news, who's available sooner. Like I said, I like both places. I'm not really too picky about either one. If I could have my pick, I think I would prefer the second place, just because, like I said, it's a little bit more dated towards my needs. But I like the location of both places. I really kind of like the location of the first place because, like I said, the DeQuinder Cut, very good for the active lifestyle, and then the food being so accessible as well. Yeah. Volunteering. Part 3 is about volunteering. I was recently offered a position to be able to volunteer for the youth, being a mentor, and I would love to be a mentor for the youth. This is like literally aligning with my long-term goals of mentorship. Like, I want to be a life coach one day. That's mentoring the masses, that's mentoring an individual. Whatever you need, we need. So if I can start off with the youth and change people's lives on a day-to-day and actually get that exposure of what it's like dealing with different personalities, dealing with different incomes, dealing with all sorts of stuff, I feel like that'll be ultra beneficial for my knowledge. And I think that I could be a great asset to kids, because I love hanging out with the young ones and like just watching their creativity spark, because kids have such an amazing talent of just being able to live life without the gossip in the air, without the gossip in your head. I mean, every kid obviously has grown up a little bit different, so some people have heard things and were exposed to things that not everybody else was. But my point is, like, it's more free spirited. You're way more tangible. It's like a fresh dry erase marker on a board, on a clean board, is what I view a kid like you can clean the slate, you can draw all over it and clean the slate, because like they're so tangible to learn new stuff and expand their minds. Whereas somebody that's older, it's like a black chalkboard, you know what I'm saying, and you can clean it off. It's just gonna have that little dusty residue in the background because it's a little bit harder to, you know, clean up. And but everybody, you get what I'm saying? You get what I'm saying? You see that? You get what I'm saying? But one second. But yeah, I am excited about that. I'm also excited about opportunities to work for this board group that helps the youth as well, setting up, you know, events and just figuring out ways that we can come together more as a community and help the youth and help people. The youth as in 18 to 24, I believe is what that age group is. And then the mentorship is for the younger, like 16 to 18, I believe is that age range. So I'm excited about all of it. I've definitely been looking forward to connecting with the community more and doing more selfless acts. I think that one thing that we should learn as humans is how to be selfless and how to be more willing to do things for others without any financial gain. Because if I can gain just the experience of knowing that I changed somebody's life, putting a smile on somebody's face, and then gaining knowledge on how I can further take those skills and make my own profit somewhere else, then that's 100% fine with me. Even if I knew that I wasn't going to take those skills and go anywhere else, I know that I just made somebody's day. That to me, that's currency that cannot be replicated. So I'm definitely, I don't know, I'm excited. Am I a little bit nervous? I mean, not really. I think I have a good amount of confidence in myself to say, you got this, you could do this. People listen to you. People admire you. I feel like my problem is that I strive for like this perfectionist like energy within myself, but that allows me to be the very best version of myself every day. It allows me to speak in my best nature, to present myself in the best nature, to, you know, everything I do, to be very genuine, to be very intentful, because I know that in my heart, I'm wanting to be the best version of myself. I'm wanting to give you the best experience you've ever had. And to another person, that means the world. For somebody who is not used to nobody treating them like that, or they could be used to somebody treating them like that, and that's what they expected. They got exactly what they expected. Now they're like, you know, we're good, we're happy. Like, my goal is just to help me, help you, help the world. I remember I wrote in my journal a couple years ago a lot of intense questions on changing within a person, down to the core values, all the way to your environment, your friends, everything. And a part of that was, do you want to change the world? And for a long time, I would be like, no. Like, I don't expect myself to wake up one day and be on TV and, you know, telling everybody that stop doing this, don't do that, right? Because that's not my responsibility per se. But I do want to change people. I want to just bring out more good in people, right? But I didn't see that at the time as changing the world. But what I've learned is that if you do change, you know, somebody, even in the smallest ways, like I said, if I could make somebody smile once or twice a week and they're not used to smiling that much, that is changing the world, right? Because they could take their energy and they could put it into something else. And it's like a little rainbow effect of blossoming joy because of one action that I made, right? So seeing that now, in a way, yeah, I would like to change the world for the better. Just putting more smiles on people's faces, giving people reasons to be happy. And that's just something that I thought was interesting. I really never thought about it from that perspective of how changing someone's mind is also changing the world. I was always thinking that it was like, you know, taking all the plastic out the ocean and all this stuff, which I care about. I definitely care about that, you know, but do I think that it's going to happen overnight? No. So I guess in my mind, I was like, I didn't want to change the world, but I guess I do. I also want to change my diction. I always say, I guess. I don't guess. I know. I don't guess. There's nothing to guess. There's nothing, you know what I'm saying? I'm not playing a game right now. I'm being serious. I do want to change the world. I do want to put smiles on people's faces. I do want to help the youth. I want to help anybody. You know what I'm saying? Not, like I said, it's not even this crazy drastic thing. It's just like learning how to be healthy, expanding your mind a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Learning how to take a bad experience or a bad day or a bad moment and shifting your perspective to see the good in it, or see what good you could do to hopefully take your bad experience and change it into something good for the next person, because you know what made that experience bad for you. How can I prevent this from happening to the next guy? Do you know what I'm saying?